Hello, Mister. Thank you for granting Vietnam News Agency an interview today. We have some questions for you. The first one is, Vietnam has adjusted its pandemic response strategy in the direction of safely, flexibly adapting to and controlling COVID-19. So what are your assessments on Vietnam's new strategy on pandemic response?
I think around the world you see countries are moving from having zero COVID to living safely with COVID. And that we can see here in Vietnam as well. The first priority is the health of the people, and with the vaccination rates increasing, we can see slowly opening up of the economy. And so from the response to COVID, I think a more flexible approach to the lockdowns, maybe shorter lockdowns, maybe shorter quarantines, so a bit more flexible approach while focusing as well on the vaccinations. And we really want to commend the government of Vietnam for their vaccination diplomacy, because it is amazing how fast people get vaccinated. On the vaccination, all around the world we have seen priorities. And so the older and the more vulnerable should have a priority for getting first the vaccinations. And with that response, there could be a slightly opening up of the economy, very carefully, again, people first.
From UNDP's perspective, how will Vietnam's new strategy on pandemic response affect the socio-economic life, especially the vulnerable group? And what are UNDP's recommendations for Vietnam on social assistance for this group?
So the UNDP recently launched 2 reports. We worked together with Molisa on that. We also had a speech in the National Assembly. We think there is a room for increasing the fiscal response. A fiscal response could go up to 5% of the GDP. And basically we have very concrete recommendations that we say people are very hardly hit by the pandemic. And so we could say a cash transfer to the people in the last 3 months of this year. It can be in one time or in 3 months. Children under 6, people over 60 years old, also the people over 80 which are not covered by the pensions, all people living with a disability. And so the vulnerable groups we should target to get a bit more extra revenue so that they can keep spending. A lot of people say giving assistance to a big group of people might cost the country a lot. But our economists and together with Molisa have calculated that if you increase the spending nationally, the people will buy national products, and so it will also grow the economy. So it helps the people and it helps the economy growing. So the recommendation is an increase in the fiscal response.
What are UNDP's recommendations for Vietnam's opening process in the near future?
Yeah, so we think the government of Vietnam is doing good. The first part we say vaccination is really important. You see everywhere in the world, the country with high vaccination rates, they are opening up the fastest. And so the vaccination should be the first priority to continue on. Secondly, a bit more flexible lockdowns. So not locking down the whole city, but like more neighborhoods, as currently being done as well. It gives us a possibility for a slow opening up. And then more assistance for the social protection could also help the economy grow.
What do you think about Vietnam's economic recovery and growth prospects in the remaining months of 2021 and in the coming time?
We think the country is on the right track with the response. Hopefully the hardest time in this COVID pandemic we have seen, we can slowly opening up, and with that the economy can start growing again. So we hope for a good recovery of the economy. What we say, it can be stimulated by an increase in the social protection. And then what I want to say additional as well, for now it's an emergency situation. We think increase the spending on the vulnerable people for a temporary period, and then at the same time learn. The current master plan on social protection is under review, so I think from this period, from providing cash transfers to the more vulnerable people, we can learn, can adjust the master plan, and as well be ready for more shocks.
Thank you so much for giving us an interview.